Eyeballs and jokes.
Welcome back to episode 146, right?
Yeah.
Of Eye Pokes and Chokes. What's up, peoples? We're back on the tubes of you. I was not in my best. Yeah, you're inner circle shirt. We know.
Gotta turn so people can see it.
We're joined today by a guest, a good friend of the podcast, Doc Holiday.
Yes,
Say what's up,
yes.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody?
Right now, you're playing Death Stranding, correct?
Correct. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Not for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody. That's what I was telling people. But for the most part, it's still a lot.
Is it anything like Metal Gear Solid?
No.
That's the thing. I mean, Kojima games aren't always about gameplay. They're not. It's a big movie and story.
Okay. Well,
I'm excited to see more.
I haven't really seen too much about it though, so I might start looking.
Don't. Yeah, avoid it.
Honestly speaking, what I'll say is that it's legit I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a fucking delivery game. You're doing deliveries throughout the game, but it's just different. It's like I told you, it's like watching a Stanley Kubrick film while listening to Lupe Fiasco. It's like it has such complexity because of the person behind it. But either way, we're not here to talk about Death Stranding. Yeah. We got some beers. We're being basic beers today. Pumpkin ales. Are you drinking anything, sir?
Yeah, I got New Belgium Fat Tire.
Fucking A.
Okay.
Fat Tire. Awesome. So we're all drinking. Dope. We're watching Rick and Morty. We were going to put a new episode, but he hasn't seen it yet. Neither has Doc. So we just put the Pickle Rick episode for fun. But either way, we are here to talk about some wrestlings. We are talking about AEW specifically with Full Gear that just happened.
Yeah, because we did the show Wednesday?
So it's like kind of a short week for us overall, but not much happened between then. You could say that stuff happened on SmackDown and stuff happened on Raw, and I'm not gonna tell you that
NXT UK invaded SmackDown, I believe.
Yeah, I caught a couple of NXT the last two shows.
Invaded them again? Because I know it was NXT that did it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but NXT UK did SmackDown this time.
Are they still stuck in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know.
Like a whole ass week and a half later? I'm just wondering, because some of them are still there. Like, why are we having...
No, I think they were in the UK.
Oh, that's right. Right.
That's horrible.
Okay, that makes sense.
I didn't even think of that. I did not think of that, but I can see that being the reason why. I thought it was
like some type of Brexit,
like
Saudi Arabia shit going on. I'm not entirely sure, but
that's horrible.
No, yeah, okay. No, I just wasn't aware that happened. I knew that the NXT thing had happened.
Yeah, last week.
And that was
or the week before.
Because of the whole Saudi Arabia thing. They didn't have all their superstars back. But now NXT UK doing this, I'm just like, what's your angle? Are you doing a fucked up WCW invasion angle where you...
Yeah, pretty much.
They're just trying to make NXT relevant right now to show that the people who don't watch that shit.
NXT has always been relevant, though. You know this. I know this. We all know this.
I'm talking about for the people, the everyday fan.
For the casuals.
The casual fan. There you go.
Yeah.
Looking good. I guess he just doesn't want... He probably just wanted the world TV title.
I forget how violent this episode is.
Pickle Rick episode is very violent.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the best ones, though.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
There's some I just can't watch over and over again, but yeah, that one I like.
No, yeah. So, let's get into AEW Full Gear. We had the buy-in with Dr. Britt Baker versus B. Priestley. And a relatively good match.
I liked the match.
It was a good match. I liked it a lot. They had their spots. It was cohesive, and I had fun watching it. I mean, I was... kind of high by that point already, but I had half a cookie.
It had some sloppiness to it, though.
It did. You're right.
I was like, come on, man! You're like, at first I was surprised they put them on the pre-show. I figured, well, I guess it's the pre-show. It's packed. I expected more of the pre-show. I'm not trying to turn away from the match, but yeah,
I thought it was going to be another match.
At least get 2 matches.
I agree. But what they decided to do with the pre-show was they put a lot of their dope ass fucking promotions and vignettes and shit that they should have probably been having like during the. Wilkins made this point, or Wilkins from Jobbers Here podcast. He made the point like, why wasn't this going on during AEW, like during the shows and this and that, like during the Wednesday show, the live show? And I'm like, yeah, you got a point.
They should have slowly put them out, but it was just so, I don't know. It's just been so much organic things that have been happening with them.
Yeah,
like,
and the other thing is
and they keep monetizing off of it, just off of T-shirts, but they definitely do need to put those things out there, like the I Got a Ticket T-shirt.
Yeah,
dope, very cool, organic, but we don't need a million more shirts. And I get it, you guys are new, so you want to flood the market enough, especially since you have a partnership with the company that's making it, so you don't really have to pay much, but it still needs to be. That needs to be more promoted.
But I will say, whoever's doing their video packaging, and it's fucking amazing.
They're great.
They're like on ESP. I was telling you, they're like on HBO 24/7 levels of like how it's recorded and how it's shot. And I'm pretty sure that's where they got the idea from. Because when I was looking at it, I was like, yo, this is like fucking HBO right before a boxing match, like a big world title match.
And it looks like 24/7 Hard Knocks as well.
Hard Knocks, yeah.
So it looks good.
I just think they need to place it better throughout or at least on the go home episode. You know what I mean?
Week, yeah.
Sprinkle it in.
Yeah.
I mean, they did go with the go home episode at the end where everybody was basically one big giant ass brawl.
That's fine and all, but we've seen that a million times on WWE and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometime it's gonna happen.
I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. Obviously, it's gonna happen. But like, instead of like having maybe. How many matches did they have in the go home episode? Like maybe 5 or 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah.
You could have had 4. You could have had 4 with the promos intermingled in between. Yeah. That's not that hard to do, especially for your title fights, your main fights, the main attraction fights. At least a championship.
You got to remember they're still recording dark as well.
You're right, but that's also no excuse though.
That's a lot.
Cool. How far are you away from the mic right now?
From the phone mic, yeah, a little far.
Oh, you're on the phone, okay? Because you just sound really, really low. So I just want to make sure that you can be heard on your own.
All right. No, I don't know. It's just it's not that much of a difference, but it's something that they have to get used to either way. So between them doing dark and them doing a go home episode where the crowd might get antsy because of that with the promo videos. So
sure.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like
people bitching or something.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like load the whole.
And get promos.
I'm not saying load the whole episode up with promos. I'm saying like the main one. You could have a 10-minute match. The fucking promo was like 10 minutes. You could have just substituted that shit, and people would have watched it. Yeah. Like, don't load the whole fucking show with promos, but you know.
Well, the good promo was on the last episode too, wasn't it? Though with Cody's.
Yeah, Cody's was on the last episode. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that was the live one.
Yeah, so that makes it hard to argue a bit, but no, I mean, still build it up, you know.
And that was still good, the live one, when he was like, "That I'm a millennial bitch," like you talking shit and all that stuff, like that was fine. But back to
the trophy into the face.
Sorry,
back to the match. It was a good match, and Britt Baker defeated B. Priestley.
I liked how
I'm not gonna lie, the build up for them, the promo for them, like Britt Baker just tearing into her.
That's what
I didn't see it. I didn't ever get to see it, and he was telling me
that's
that.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
Thing.
Even Janelle said that.
Yeah.
She said that was the best promo, hands down, out of all of it. Even better than Cody's. I'm like, okay, good.
I need to watch it.
I get it.
Lie.
Yeah. It was really fucking good, though.
Right.
It was really good.
I mean, it was and it followed up with a good match, you know. Yeah. And like I agree with Bleacher Report where they say like it was a very strong opening match. Even though the buy-in is a pre-show, it's still technically kind of, if it's a good enough match, you could consider it the actual opening for the show overall. Yeah. So it was a good match, and it was
a good opening.
It was a good opening, 100%.
It didn't feel like a WWE pre-show.
No,
match.
it didn't.
It didn't. A solid match.
And that's the one thing I do kind of like about their pre-show. Like the way they're structuring it, I get why they're doing all the promos and shit, because they don't want it to be exactly like a WWE pre-show. They don't want to have a whole table talking for like 3 hours before the fucking scene.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like football.
Starts. Like it doesn't have to be like that.
But
I didn't realize they had hired Taz. I was like, what the fuck is that Taz the whole time?
I don't know if he's hired, but this is the second time we've seen him, so I don't know.
So he might be like...
Maybe I missed it.
He might be on a come through basis.
Yeah, he was because he was on a Dark episode, and now he's on.
You already got like Golden Boy who shows up one. It was just kind of weird. I was like, what the fuck? Why are y'all paying money for Taz too?
Hey,
it's fucking Taz, man.
Everyone brings an audience.
Exactly.
So even if you didn't watch, even if your friends didn't watch because you didn't tell them, but now that they know you're on it, they're gonna watch it. So,
and if you don't know, now you know. Anyways,
yes.
So the first, what happened? What'd you say?
Oh, I just said it's more eyes. It's more eyes.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, exactly.
What do you like about the Awesome Kong and Brandy sighting that we finally got?
That was interesting. First of all, I was just like, wait, whose all hair is that? Like, it made sense. Like, I see they're just trying to make a point. Hey, this is going to be her thing now. It's cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's, it makes her a little more scary because not only are you going to get your ass kicked, but you might lose a piece of you, too.
I'm surprised she actually let that happen, too. That's a champ shit right there. Like, letting your hair get cut.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I was like, is she looking for extensions or are they going to just get it? No, they just got it.
Like, nah, that was all her.
That was all hair. That was all hair for sure.
That makes her look even scarier now. Like, oh, shit. And I love Awesome Kong. Like, I love her in Glow and I love her in the ring. Like, that girl can act.
Yep. Definitely can.
That's why.
She makes me feel. Yeah.
So after that, to start off the actual pay-per-view, we had Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks. Proud and Powerful versus the Young Bucks. Good match. I mean, we haven't seen them perform that much on Proud and Powerful since they started at AEW. Like they would come out and do New York shit and jump motherfuckers. But for the most part, it was a good match. I had a lot of fun, and they made the right decision in having PMP beat the Young Bucks. Honestly. And I think they made the right decision overall, the whole card and the night, like to establish a new, thing. I mean, we'll get to that further, like down the thing, but for the most part, I mean, it was a great match. It wasn't too long. They hit their spots. It wasn't. And it was what we expected it to be. And I don't think anybody could be upset about the match being what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because we've seen them in person. Santana and Ortiz. We've seen the Young Bucks in person, so we're aware of both teams and what they're capable of, and this is one of those, I don't want to say dream matches, but like in terms of
it could have been better, but it wasn't bad at all.
What do you mean it could have been better?
It could have been better
in terms of what? You don't want to go all out on your first one. You know what I mean?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. It could have been better, but it's not
slightly.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go, but there's not nowhere to go, but. It's not that hard to go that much higher. So definitely another match with better stipulations maybe. But
because this is just like them having a foothold now. Like, okay, we beat one of the best teams in the world, or one of the best teams that they used to be considered the best teams. Like now that we're in the inner circle, we're proud and powerful. Like we're better than you guys because we beat you on our first try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what you think, Doc?
I liked it. Proud and Powerful I'm not used to seeing, or LAX, which kind of makes me laugh that they were called LAX and they're from New York.
Well, it was Latin American exchange, so either way it worked.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm thinking, I don't know why.
I thought the airport too, dude. I thought the same shit you did.
Yeah,
it's fine.
There? Yeah.
Oh, I'm ashamed now. Like I knew that. But no, I thought it was good. I mean, I know old Meltzy was like, "Hey, man, the Young Bucks can't keep losing everything," and I don't want them to lose everything because the people you're trying to bring in. What he said was, you're trying to bring these fans in who think you're hearing the Young Bucks are amazing, and then you watch them lose all the time. So, but I know what they're doing as well. They're trying not to monopolize wins,
Exactly.
But the match itself, I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, and I think as long as you put on enjoyable matches and show what you're capable of overall, and if you still come out on the losing end, because they have some wins, don't get me wrong, they have wins here and there, and they show it in the overall record. But for the most part, when it matters, they're losing, but they're still putting on great performances. It's like when you see a boxer like try his hardest and put on a good performance, but still get screwed over by the judges and have the other person win. Like, it's something akin to that, but like obviously this was a clean win overall. But No, yeah, I mean, the Young Bucks are doing what the Young Bucks should be doing, what pretty much everybody in the elite is doing right now.
Losing?
Yep.
Yeah. To put over other people.
They don't want to seem like they're those guys.
Everyone,
like, hey, we run the company. Ha ha, we win. Like, I know what they're trying to stay away from. But
and we're perfectly fine with that.
I like it, but I like the fact that did everyone win on All Out?
I feel like they might have.
Everyone except for Hangman.
Yeah.
And now look where we're at.
Yeah. So like they're trading spots, and that's perfectly fine. Well, I'm okay with that.
No, the Young Bucks didn't win then either. Lucha Bros won.
It's going to be interesting because I think also people are going to be expecting like UFC kind of like UFC style win-loss records, and it's like, nah, man, you have to remember this is wrestling. People lose and win all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
so you're gonna have a team that's probably like
see a 13-0. Like.
Yeah, you're gonna see a team that's like 12-10. Like what I mean? It's gonna look like a football record going into the playoffs or some shit like that. That's what's gonna have 10-6. Like you see, the only one that's undefeated right now is fucking Jericho. Which for me, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
The champ, the first champ.
I mean, he's the face of the company.
Yeah,
exactly. After that, we had Hangman Adam Page versus Pac in another really good match.
Yes.
I enjoyed it a lot, and Janelle said something funny. She was just like, "Oh, he's gonna be like the new Daniel Bryan. He's gonna be the champ by next year." I was like, "Yeah, but at least he'll have only had worked for it for 1 year instead of 15." And she was just like, "Yo, that was a low blow." Everybody thinks I hate Daniel Bryan for some reason when I don't. I really don't. He's a great wrestler. I just don't.
He's the
his persona. I just don't fucks with it. But either way, going back to this,
never get over with me.
it was a good match. Like we know what Pac is available. Oh, it's not available. We know what he's like capable of. We know what Hangman Page is getting capable of, getting better at doing what he's doing. Like with every match, he's just getting better, executing better. There's more continuity. There's more flow in his movements and all that stuff. And like his chain wrestling has gotten way better. So we know what we're gonna get out of it. As much as people might not know who both are. I mean, they know who Pac is, Neville. If I tell somebody Neville, they're like, "Oh, the dude that like does the high flying shit." I'm like, "Yeah," but like they're just establishing people. So having Pac and Page, like that's a no-brainer, honestly, and especially since they've been still beefing for like a hot minute already.
Yeah,
you don't have them
January.
You don't have them do it all the time because that's when it gets boring. That's when it gets to the WWE levels of like, all right, we've seen the same match 18 times, and that's what we're discussing. Like we've seen Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks like 15 fucking times since Double or Nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like
they had that right amount of trickle and sprinkle.
Exactly. Nice. So like at this point, they're starting to realize, okay, like we need to like let everybody else do their thing while we like, lick our wounds and like actually run the company in the background, and whatnot. But
and putting people over at the same time.
Exactly. So and doing what's best for the company.
I did agree with Jim Ross a bit with Hangman leaving his feet a lot. I would like to see him be more of a powerhouse.
He should be. Like he has a physique.
Like every match had a suicide dive, and it's like the same old argument. But like, come on, man, like just do something else.
The next match we had was Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears. That was a decent match. Didn't do anything for me, honestly. I could have done without the
because you didn't know the setup.
Without the match overall, even if I didn't know the setup, like it wasn't enough. So that would have been my piss break. You know what I mean?
That was the whole point. The pacing is good. The pacing so far is really good. That is definitely the
instead of having Joey Janela and Shawn Spears at this slot, I would have rather have seen like Darby Allin or like debut Jake Hagar on a fucking match or something versus I don't know.
That has to have build up, so that's not happening.
It doesn't need build up.
That could have been on the pre-show. Yeah.
This could have been on the pre-show. I would have rather had Brie Priestley and Britt Baker here in this slot.
They at least had a build of a story.
Yeah.
Because I think the only build was the back. Like I didn't see, I guess, when Joey Janela disrespected, homie, but I saw when they got him back.
That was like around maybe Double or Nothing. That might have been Vegas.
Possibly, yeah.
When he put when he put the cigarette in his water, that might have been around Vegas.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't realize that was that far back. Because I have not been keeping up with Being the Elite or any of that. In fact, I just watched the first episode in months just right before we started.
Yeah.
And it was the recent one. So it's like, I didn't really understand where the beef came from.
I like what they're doing, but there's no point of reference. Like, they're referencing it, but it's really no point of reference. He said, "Oh yeah, you think you're a bad guy? I haven't seen you since you put a cigarette in my water." I don't remember. I remember it happened.
That's not much to go on.
I remember it happened and just don't remember when it happened. That's what I'm saying.
That's not much to go on, though.
And it was a back.
Yeah, no.
That's like me getting mad at you for sneezing on me 3 months later. It's like...
Yeah, pretty much, but he just... And it doesn't make sense because he said he has bigger things to deal with. Meanwhile, your dude has been losing, so he doesn't really count. But yeah, I get it.
Like I said, it was a decent match.
I like Shawn. I love Shawn Spears' look. I like his wrestling. I like his heelness. It's just
he needs more.
He can't beat Joey Janela 1-on-1 without being helped.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog.
Exactly. There's not much there if you can't do that. I agree. After that, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match. We had SCU versus Private Party versus the Lucha Bros. Good match.
Versus the Private Party.
I literally said that already. I said SCU versus Private Party versus Lucha Bros. You're not paying attention.
And I was really listening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I said all three.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, it was a good match. It wasn't great though. It was a good match, but it wasn't great. I think it could have really hit higher levels. It's just, I don't know if it was the type of match. The fact that they should have made this shit a tornado tag. Everybody should have just been in the ring at once. When you have more than 2 teams, make it like at least 3 people in the ring at once, so you can like random tag all the time.
That should be their different.
Right at the beginning too. It was like, who's going to go in? I hope all 3, because even people who are watching, I'm teaching or showing people wrestling. Mm-hmm. Everybody's pretty much new on my channel to wrestling, and they're like, so are you going to just tag your enemy? You're not going to do that. I'm like, normally
you can, which is a weird thing. Which is like, if you want to make yourself different, if you're going to have these type of matches, have all 3 of them start like a triple threat match. Might as fucking well. You have a triple threat tag team match, have a triple threat start. Make it make sense. Or if you're gonna make it like this, have a tornado tag match. Have everybody in the ring at once. Make it lucha. Make it lucha rules.
Would make sense.
If it's anything more than 2 teams, it's lucha rules immediately.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
That'd be amazing.
But you put that face, and he's putting a face right now. And he's just like, he knows that would be a crazy match.
It would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big Lucha Bros fan. Like, I love Phoenix. I love Penta. They do some amazing work. I was a little disappointed with the finish because you got the pin happening and Penta is not being held back on the outside. He just goes no.
Yeah.
Like the one, it's like, dude, you have plenty of time to still get in there and hit him if you really want to. Like,
just fuck it, just break it up anyway.
He just stood there and watched it happen. You have 3 seconds and he just says no, and it's like, come on. Yeah. But I mean, I like all 3. I think
all 3 are cool.
Party's got a ways to go. They're good.
Yeah, Private Party still has a ways to go. They're young.
And that's the only thing that I would have a problem with about why you were saying how it was just not
as fluid.
Yeah. Because it's
agreed.
They're still working on it.
But yeah, I mean, they're still young. They're still young on a pretty big fucking stage, to be honest with you. So
very big stage.
For them to be where they're at right now,
it feels like D-Lo back in the day.
Yeah. Okay.
That's maybe even a little bit younger D-Lo.
That's fair.
They got an NXT group to compete with too. Yeah, a lot of people comparing them to the NXT guys.
Yeah. Wow.
I told you, I kept fucking that up. The dude from NXT, what's it called?
I can't think of their name right now either.
Street Profits.
Those bums.
The guys with the ugly shirts.
Yeah, the ones they're not bums. They just don't compete.
That's why I don't want to call them bums.
Yeah, I ain't bums. That's the thing. Yeah,
bums. Y'all not fly.
It's just, I need to see y'all competing instead of having stupid little promos.
Like, I like the promos. They're good. That's
fine. Follow it up by
on. I need him to cut a real one. I need him to cut a real wrestling promo.
Okay, but what does it matter if you're not in the ring?
That's what I mean. I need that around that.
But you're not in the ring, so you can't have that if you're not in the ring.
I'm saying I'm wanting both.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
But I'm just saying,
why is he arguing with me, dog?
You can't have it out. All right, we got sidetracked into WWE.
But whatever. I don't know how we got here.
Let's move it back. But he compared them to them.
Private Party.
He compared it to his private party.
We did that last.
But I was mixing them up all last week anyway, so like it's understandable. He was just like, oh, because you're black. I was like, I never said that. I never said that at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
They have the same shtick.
So like, nah.
They have the same gimmick. That's what it is. They kind of have the same thing. So like it's
the beer, the alcohol versus the red cup guys.
Yeah, but it was a good match. Like I had fun watching it.
That's why I laughed actually on a Dynamite. They're like, this ain't water. I was like,
yeah. But it was a good match. It could have been way better. I think if they made different stipulations or whatnot, or just like changed the format of how
their match
how it was, then it could have been way better. But at the same time, you kind of like you want to establish the top 3 tag teams right now because theoretically speaking, like they are
those are the top
3 tag teams
with their rankings. They were
the Young Bucks, like, and that's why they did it that way. Then after that, we had the AEW.
They do have a great.
What happened?
Go ahead, sorry. I said they got a great tag division, though.
Everybody can perform. That's the one thing that's solid.
Yeah. Agreed.
That was my only argument on Saturday. That was my only argument on Saturday. I was like, the tag division is the best division.
Yeah,
women is getting there, but they need some work.
They still need work.
Men's division, it's so many people there. We don't know
not enough titles.
Yeah.
So
that's what I actually said. I was like, I need a mid-card title. Next thing you know, like a day later, Cody's announcing that shit. Like, yes.
He already announced it?
He said something.
He announced it. He didn't say what it was, but they said they're making one.
Okay, cool.
And they said soon. They have no name for it, but they said soon.
So after that, we had the AEW Women's Championship match: Rio versus Emi Sakura, student versus teacher, pretty much.
Not for me.
What do you mean?
Not for me.
You didn't like the match?
Couldn't get it. I was trying to get into it, couldn't get into it.
It was a decent match.
It was a good match.
I'm not gonna say like it was great or anything, but it was a decent match. Like
it just didn't hold me.
The one thing I liked was the fact that like at the beginning, right before the match, like Emmy started getting emotional because she was like, "Yo, I'm on a pay-per-view. I'm about to go up against my student for like the women's championship." It like the moment got to her, and I was like, "Ah, that's pretty cute, and that's also pretty cool." But no, it was a good match. I mean,
yes, because WWE doesn't use that.
No,
boxing uses that.
Yeah.
That helped suck me in too.
Exactly, and that's what got me into the match.
Yeah.
That's what got me into the match. I was like, all right, she's actually feeling some type of way on a personal level besides like actually like whatever because
only Bailey got that bullshit.
So I was just like, let me watch, and it was a good match. It was fun, and like I said, it wasn't the greatest match, but for me, it was pretty fast paced. They worked strongly together because hello, they worked together for how long? Like I think they had 200 matches between them, singles and tag teams. So like
that's insane.
That's fucking nuts. Like you know each other in and out.
Yeah,
and you know you're gonna put on the best performance you can on a pay per view, and I think they did for the most part. So it was pretty cool to watch actually, and I mean Rio kept the championship and defeated Sakura. So I kind of wanted a heel turn from Sakura, but I was like, nah, there's no point to heel turn at this point. Like, I thought she was going to slap her, like, right when she raised her hand, but I was like, nah. I was like, it's fine. I was like, let's not.
I think they would have to get another title shot at that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the match is cool. The finish was awesome. I'd never seen that before. She did that swiftly, that little roll-up.
Hell yeah.
What was it? I wish they would show a few more replays, because I wanted to see that again. I didn't want to like rewind it in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, that was.
It was a great series of like roll-ups that led to the.
Yeah, they had some great sequences.
Yeah, they had some great sequences. So like that's what I'm saying. Like it was a good match. I had fun watching it. After that, we had the AEW World Championship match: Cody versus Chris Jericho. Everybody thought it was going to go 60 minutes because of the whole judges thing. I was just like, nah, bro. I'm not going to go 60 minutes. They're like, no, it has to. And I was like, nah, it's not going to go 60 minutes. Yo, but it has to. Like, there were like 5 different people. Then it didn't go 60 minutes. And I looked at all of y'all.
It should have.
Womp, womp. Another reason why I think it didn't go 60 minutes, I'll tell you right now. Because Cody of the way he landed.
Yeah.
And on top of that landing separated one of his rib cages. With like ribs on a rib cage. Yeah. The lower
so
one.
Ugly.
During the match, and he finished the match like that. So I'm guessing, I mean, the whole thing was probably planned out as it was anyway, but what I saw from Twitter, like one of his lower rib cage, like I think on the left or on the impact side, I think the right side just got dislodged slightly.
Yeah.
And fucking wrestlers are some tough motherfuckers, honestly. So if you finish it with that, I'd have been like, no, I'm done.
I think it's just falling on your back.
Like breaking open his fucking face and having his mom stitch him up afterwards. And the mom
stitch up?
Yep.
That's why I was only 8?
She was a former nurse, yeah.
Nah, Mom, you're not stitching me up.
She's a former nurse. What do you mean?
Care.
Nah. But no, it was a good match. It was what we expected it to be, full of hard-hitting spots and, like, you know, just getting to the end of
hatred.
It. Yeah, there was an animosity in that fucking thing, which was conveyed perfectly, honestly, between both parties, and it was really good, man. Like I can't.
Yeah, it told a good story.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're telling good stories here, as opposed to, and there's something that they're learning from, like, their experiences at New Japan or just being abroad overall. Like
the promos look like it.
So, like, yeah, exactly.
Like the outside shots. Think about the outside shots of anything New Japan, and think about the outside shots that they have in their promos now.
Well, you said it yourself, even, like, when we were watching, when they first showed, like, the whole thing, like, we were like, oh, shit, it looks like a New Japan, like, setup, the whole pay-per-view with the ramp leading to the ring. I was like, oh, that's pretty
I like dope. That.
I was like, that's pretty cool. So, but no, it was...
Since ECW.
I found it pretty funny that...
early ECW, yeah.
Yeah. I found it pretty funny that Jericho removed his weight belt and started slapping Cody with it.
I like the fact that... What did it say?
It said Le Champion on the back.
Yeah,
and I loved
Did Jericho look really badly out of shape on this one?
Did.
Like, he's looked good on Dynamite the last few weeks, but he just looked like he had like some years before
early
the match,
Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I said that.
Everybody said that.
And I was
Everybody
mad.
said it. 100%. Everybody was like, "Yo, he looks like Ric Flair. What the fuck?"
He looks like Ric Flair when he got back to Raw in 03.
He just needs to work out the middle of his chest a little bit and call it a day. Like, it's not... Because he admits it. Like, he doesn't like working out his chest. He hates it. He said it himself.
He needs to get to it. Too much bubbly.
I know. That's probably what it was. Way too much bubbly. Anyways.
In the weekend. Not even before. Just the
MJF,
weekend.
like, throwing in that towel. I saw it coming. The moment he had the towel, I'm like, wow. They put the towel
he
out,
was
this
gonna...
is done.
Yeah. And you know where I think they got it from? They got it from the Bullet Club thing back with Kenny and Cody.
Yeah.
So, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, they're doing the Bullet Club thing back in fucking, like, in New Japan. I was like, got it. Boo. So, when they did that, I mean, it was done in a perfect way because of the heel turn. You know what I mean? MJF did the heel turn afterwards, and it was perfectly timed. We all knew it was going to eventually happen. We were just questioning when. And the fact that they're doing quarterly pay-per-views makes this time the perfect spot to do it, honestly speaking. So, because they might not have another one until, like, February or March. Yeah. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that because, and this is what we've been talking about for a long time. It's like, have quarterly pay-per-views, have 4 major pay-per-views, and you have so much time to build story and make these pay-per-views matter. You know what I mean? So it's like, I like the fact that they were doing it this way, and now we're gonna see like the after effects of, okay, like because somebody threw in the towel for me, does that mean I lost specifically? You know what I mean?
I didn't think about that.
Because it's like, I didn't get pinned. I didn't submit. I didn't tap out. I didn't pass out or anything like that. Like, I got kind of screwed over, and he was probably planning this the whole time.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. So,
So he might still have unfinished business with Jericho, but now he has a whole new angle with
And that's
MJF.
why he can, I guess that's why he can, debating that is why he can say, I'll never challenge it again.
What do you mean?
He said that during the promo. He said, "I'll never challenge for the title again."
Okay, but
so
this kind of might give him a loophole too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but it was a good match. I liked it. The pacing was great, and MJ. And the funny thing is, like, it makes Cody the babyface overall because he lost the title fight, and he lost the title fight because of his best friend that he thought, and then on top of that, he gets fucking turned on by his best friend a week after having that segment with MJF in AEW Dark.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
So, like, it's set up kind of well, and I was just like, okay, I get what they're doing, and it was pretty cool. And after that, we have the lights out match, John Maxey versus Kenny Omega. Motherfuckers. I get it.
I liked it.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. It was fun. But some people are even questioning, like, other people, like, I don't care. Like, I had fun. We hadn't seen something like this since ECW or early Attitude Era WWE. But people were like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, people were actually asking afterwards, like, did they go too far? No, they didn't go too far. You know why?
They didn't even do anything.
Thing, the middle part was not full of actual barbs.
No, like, it wasn't. If you looked at it, yeah, it wasn't full of barbs, the middle part.
Like, if that was real glass, they would have been lacerated all over the place.
That's why he made the perfect point. He was like, that's probably just sugar. And I was like, you know what? Yep. You're probably right, because the way it like crinkled up and like all the fucking powder came out afterwards. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's sugar. Don't get me wrong. It could still probably cut you, because some of them were getting cut like from the certain things because it's sharp. Don't get me wrong. But like
it was a callback from the table, by the way. It's Kenny saving the glass from the table. Yeah, that he got put through.
Mm-hmm. Which was good. Which was a great callback. But overall, it was a match we expected it to be. Like it was a death match. Let's not pretend that it wasn't what it was.
I wanted to see more because of the legend of John Moxley.
What did you want to see more, though? Do you want him to have, like, a fucking Iron Maiden and put fucking Omega in it and just, like, crush it?
Yeah, that's what I want to see. No, I would, like... I know it's only, like... certain things that we can show on TV, even though it's pay-per-view. So, we're not going to go, like... balls to the wall and first just show out all Moxley has done outside of WWE. But just wanted to see a little bit more. It was a good tease for the hardcore style, I guess.
What would you have added to it?
I wouldn't know. I'm not gonna say
ECW?
A little bit more blood, maybe, but I don't know. Like
I mean, when he got hit in the back of the head with the fucking thing, he started bleeding profusely immediately. So, like, how much more blood did you want? Did you want him covered in blood like The Rock was covered in blood that night? Or like...
Because what we had, the baseball bat, the glass, the broom, we got the big barbed wire set up. What else did we get in that? We had the table spot on the outside.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, when he flew into it himself.
Uh-huh. I could have used maybe another table.
Yeah. I could have used a ladder.
Oh, the mouse traps. Yeah,
the mouse traps.
The mouse traps was an interesting idea. Like, yeah, it'll pinch you, but overall, it's not going to do much unless it catches one of your fingers.
It's going to slap and then pinch you.
That was a troll. Like, that was just a haha.
Yeah, that was just like whatever. Now, if they put that shit with thumbtacks, then we're talking different.
Oh, man, yeah.
Then it's like, I would be like, nah, I'm good. I just like turn around like, I'm good.
Nah, kick it right back out the ring. Mm-hmm. No. I don't even want you to go through that.
I did like the fact that like towards the end, like he pulled up, he undid the fucking the ring and pulled the fucking mat up and
that was
got the dirty deeds on the exposed wood. So like that was cool, and it reminded me.
That far to finish Kenny sends a lot. Yeah, it's nice.
And it reminded me of that match that LAX had with
Bound for Glory.
Yeah, Bound for Glory with
2018.
Yeah, with the exposed wooden beams. Like, that's how the match was, and like that was scary because the fucking beams were moving everywhere.
Yeah.
So
that was stupid.
I was happy that was done well.
It was a really good match.
It was crazy. But overall, I honestly give it, because like it's their first. It's not their first official pay-per-view. Let's not pretend it's their first official pay-per-view. This is their third technically. If you put Fyter Fest fourth, if you put All In, then
I'm counting all of that.
Fine.
I'm not counting All In, but I'm counting.
Then it's 4. They had Fyter Fest. They had Double or Nothing, All Out. This one, that's 4. Do they have another one in between there?
Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen.
Fight for the Fallen. Okay, so 5. Fair enough. The only reason I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. As a score, pretty much a 3.5 out of 10, almost out of 5. I mean, for those people that only have their scores up to 5, because of the fact that although it was a decent pay-per-view, I think maybe they could have like saved it for December, because of the fact that like it would have given them a little bit more time. There hasn't been enough time between since when they started airing the show to now, to like really further establish stuff. Like, don't get me wrong,
it did feel very soon.
It did, and they established stuff earlier in the pay-per-views, like in Fyter Fest and whatever, and that's fine, but you didn't have the subsequent programming to lead up to it to make us care as much as we would want to care. The only one that we really wanted to care about was the championship match.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's like we had a promo for the women's match.
No, and that was
all
great.
the way from then. So like
so there was like 2 matches that had good promos, but again, like the Janela one didn't really matter as much in the grand scheme of things.
That was made this week.
Yeah. The triple threat tag that really didn't have much behind it besides the fact that they're the top 3 teams with the best rankings and tag team
that had promo for since the first match.
With the Lucha Bros and the SCU, I understand that, but Private Party being in it,
they should have did more talking promos with at least Private Party.
Agreed.
And that would have been a lot better.
And the rest of the Emi Sakura and Rio one didn't have much from that, and there should have been like promos for that beforehand. They just got a ranking thing, or I just think they just put a women's match in there. Just put a women's match in there.
Yeah,
women's title match.
Because I mean, even like women's title match. And what's her name had a bigger build than they did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I think that match would have been way better if it was for the title, Britt Baker and B. Priestley. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you would have had that with that type of build up, we would have had a fucking show. We would have had like a really good. Not to say that, not to take away from the Emi Sakura and Rio match. But
I just don't know why Emi's the champion. I mean, not Emi. Rio. I don't know why she's the champion other than
because she's good, and they want to bring in a Japanese audience.
Yeah, that's pretty. And
she can wrestle. She's
and
good.
Kenny trained her too.
I get that, but that match that she had versus Nyla Rose, that's just crazy to me. But no.
And the fact that Nyla Rose isn't on this pay-per-view, honestly, like it's kind of like where did you go with this?
They said she showed out for the dark match, so I don't know. Let's see.
Well, that's fine, but like
it's not televised. I don't
know. But yeah, I give it a 7.5. What do you give it?
About the same. We never even got a chance to talk about Christopher Daniels coming back.
Oh, he came back dressed as Penta. Okay, there we go. We did it. I mean, it's good to see him back.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And a fucking neck pointer or a pinched nerve, it fucking hurts. Like, it fucking hurts. I have a pinched nerve in my lower back, which fucking sucks. And you have your own pinched nerve issues too, Doc, I think, or something like that along those lines. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
no, it sucks.
It fucking sucks. So I get the animosity he came out with, and it was pretty cool. Like, he did the Cero Miedo thing with him and all that stuff too. But for the most part,
it just doesn't matter.
Right now, it doesn't matter, honestly. But
they could have saved that just to not have him on TV, or have, because he's a trainer, so they call him coach in the promos all the time and BTE all the time. So they should have really just saved it.
It
wasn't necessary, but I get it. Like, you want to have an early comeback story, but
I'm
you don't
glad he's back though. At least, you know?
Yeah.
And I want to see what it leads to. If it leads to a one-on-one match between the two of them, I'm fine with that. Which they shouldn't be necessarily.
It's gonna happen.
They shouldn't be necessarily like just restricted to be tag teams.
That's my emotions right now.
And I'm hoping that's a thing.
Yes, and that just makes the whole idea of the singles roster look much more crazy than the tag roster. Yeah, I know you can't really save it with certain things that they're doing.
Oh yeah. Any extra news?
Not really. Let's talk about MJF in a turn.
We knew it was gonna happen. It's about time, and
really, it was. Everything is fast tracked. Everything is fast tracked except for the title.
Okay, but now they have time.
I wish they would have teased him turning a little more.
They did tease it, though. They teased it once and once only. They teased it.
But yeah,
what was that? The first week?
No, it wasn't the first week.
The first or the second week, whenever Cody got jumped.
It was like the second week. Yeah, it was like the second week.
That's still.
But they were like, in circle had become a thing.
They haven't teased it enough. They should have played
either way.
More cat and mouse.
You know he's the best heel right now, and think.
True.
Right now, he's the best heel.
AEW Dark.
Keep Cody on TV.
Yeah. Where he's the best heel right now. Let's not even jump the Miz into it. He's been doing it for so fucking long.
Yeah.
We know Jericho is like one of the best heels of all time.
He's just the new guy that got it.
But he's a new guy that's one of the best heels right now on television, period. And he could back it up with his wrestling too. But for me, just the fucking fact that, like, at Fyter Fest, he was like, oh, you know your mom? She swallows. I was like, God damn. I was like, dude. I was like, how do you say that? Everybody was just like, oh. But no, like, we know he's the best heel, and it was about time.
His StarCast videos are hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they were fucking up when I felt like I needed to cheer for him for a bit, the last couple of weeks. I'm like, I shouldn't be cheering for this dude.
But that was the reason for it, though. Like, they wanted you to start liking him, and that's why they did the...
I like him.
That's why they did the, what's it called? That
Undeniable.
Interview. Undeniable, or undesirable to undeniable. Like, that's why they did that stuff, because they want you to start liking him, and then all of a sudden, bam, right at the part that it matters the most. So I'm just like, I get it, 100%. I 100% get it. So that was good.
I think he goes good at commentary. Like I watched that AEW Dark the other night before the pay-per-view, and he was killing it.
He's great at commentary.
Commentary was great. It was.
I fucking love it.
He's just that much of an asshole where he still gives you a little bit of respect.
He reminds me of The Miz, but like an early Miz when he was like a slightly better version of The Miz, like back like when he started.
Yeah, had the Miz been able to back it up.
Even that when we told Excalibur, we lock eyes again, I'm gonna punch you out or something like that.
Exactly.
Just laughing. Yes.
But I think that's all we got then, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
anything
it.
else crazy. Like I think that's the show pretty much.
Oh no!
You always got one more. What?
No.
What is it?
Seriously, Matt Travis.
Oh,
yeah,
correct. Is it Matt Travis? That was his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking through some of his stuff now.
Got it. Matt Travis unfortunately passed away this week. He was a wrestler from New York City, an indie wrestler, and unfortunately he was hit by a dump truck. And I'm not sure if it was a city dump truck, but he was cycling, and I think he was biking home. I don't know exactly what happened, but for the most part, I didn't read up on it, but for the most part, we lost another one very young. He was only 25, just getting his career started in wrestling, which really fucking sucks. But,
his name traveled well.
Exactly. Like, he's been at HO, he's been at Hog, he's been at Battle Club. We've seen him at Battle Club.
Yeah. I believe BCW a couple of times.
Yeah, probably BCW a couple of times too. So, it just sucks to see somebody like so young and like just getting started in their career and just a tragic accident like out of nowhere that you really can't anticipate, honestly speaking. Hopefully they get down to exactly what happened, and our condolences go out to his family, his friends, everybody that knew him, anybody he worked with, because it is a very, very tragic loss at the end of the day. Anybody
just out riding your bike.
Yeah, just out riding your bike, either going home or going to the gym or whatever, or going to work even, because some of these people work while they're wrestling and whatnot, especially in the indies. So who knows what happened? But people, be careful. Do not have your fucking headphones in while you're riding your bike, because you never know what's happening, and this is why I don't ride bikes. Not because I can't ride a bike, it's because I actually can't. I don't know how to. I've tried plenty of times. Shut up. But
2 reasons.
But
same.
Also, be careful out there while cycling, because it can happen to literally anybody. So, just be aware of your surroundings while you're cycling. And once again, our condolences go out to the family and friends. But yeah, I think that's the show. Hate to end it on a somber note, but it's just one of those things. But after this, we're gonna watch some Rick and Morty.
Catch
up to it. Thanks so much, Doc, for being with us.
Yeah,
man, thank you.
You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes. Myself at _ Mr. Alex 25 _ the guy on my left at
MU_KEWLA.
You can follow Doc. It is a dope picture. You can follow Doc on twitch.tv/Doc Holiday. I'm also on the Twitters at, I forgot what it is, at Doc Holiday, right?
It's real Doc Holiday, DAWK.
Yeah, real Doc Holiday, DAWK. And check out his videos. He's fun. Like I said, he's a friend of the podcast. Friend of both of us. We chilled at Vegas. A lot of fun.
Are we gonna do a part 2 of that?
We might. If they're doing it again, we might have to.
Or we might have to do Chicago.
Yeah.
Again?
I'll do Chicago again. I like Chicago a lot. So
yeah.
I'll fuck with Chicago.
That's home. Part 2.
Chicago would work because my girl Amber lives up there in St. Louis, so that we can drive up there.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast, Facebook.com/PokesandChokes, Patreon.com/PokesandChokes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You could get our stuff at Threadless and Redbubble.
There's a sale going on.
And there's a sale, so even better for you guys.
There's always a sale.
Get us some monies as well.
Or just get a nice shirt without a logo on it.
It doesn't have to even
Not this one, but
That's our logo. I think they know what the logo looks like. And you can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Transistor FM. And also keep watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like, share with your friends, rate us on iTunes or Spotify, wherever you can. And you guys have a good one. Thanks again, Doc, for being with us. And you guys have a good night. I fucking hate him so much. Peace out.
Come on.